Operation Dudula claims most criminal activity is committed by undocumented foreign nationals, many of whom reside in Hillbrow. It comes as tensions continue to simmer over undocumented foreign nationals in South Africa. My next guest argues that even if South Africa were to expel every single refugee, we would still have high levels of crime, violence, joblessness and corruption. Well, let's speak now to COSATU's founding General Secretary, Naidu. Mr. Naidu, good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. It's such an important conversation to have right now, because not a week goes by that we don't see images of multiple groups who believe that they're carrying out legitimate raids in South African spaces against what they describe as either undocumented nationals or foreign or illegal migrants in this country.
Well, first of all, I don't think the facts bear that assumption out. It's a lie. And it's a lie because even, as you said, even if we did expel every undocumented foreigner in our country, we'll still be living with high levels of unemployment, of hunger, and of people that are homeless. So I think the fact of the matter is that we are a constitutional democracy. There is the rule of law that is at the backbone of our democracy. The state is the one that is legally mandated to ensure the safety and security of all citizens and everyone in South Africa, including people that are not documented. Now, to take the law into your own hands, we've seen the evidence of this before. We've seen vigilante movements wreaking havoc across our communities. Have we forgotten already about the Witduka, about the Red Duka, about vigilantes that have led to situations where people are necklaced with petrol bomb and tires? Do we want to go back to that barbarism? No one in our country, not any political leader, not any citizen, has the right to adjudicate on the legality and rule of law of any citizen or of any person in South Africa. So for me, I found this outrageous because it is led by politicians, people that are mandated to be governing in terms of a constitution. So suddenly we have a situation where a useful scapegoat has been found. And those political parties that are orchestrating this, and we need to follow the money here, you'll find are people that generally have been involved in other illegal activity, who seek to make this an election issue in 2024, hoping to stir emotions that once this genie is out of the bottle, we will have an explosion of violence. So what next? Will it be Zulu people living in hostels in Soweto? Will we go back to faction fighting? Will we then identify the next group of people we want to profile, like people who happen to be gay or of a different sexual orientation, or people that have a different ethnicity or even race? This is a road to our hell, to a destruction of the democracy that we have won through fierce battle to arrive at the point where we rid ourselves of tribalism, of xenophobia, of othering other people. There are constitutional ways to deal with this issue. Let the law enforcement agencies deal with it. There are protocols in the African Union to which we are part that promote the idea of the free movement of goods and services. We are part of an African continent of 1.4 billion people. This is our future. Our future is not isolating ourselves.
Mr. Naidu, you talk about the role that the state organs and the state agencies can play. This operation has not been taking place in secret. It has been taking place in broad daylight, in the view of many South Africans, including the authorities themselves. Why is it, do you think, that they are standing by and in some instances close enough to be seen to be legitimizing these actions?
Because our system, our democracy has been rigged by state capture, by politicians in a political class that is bankrupt of moral values, that seeks to take a shortcut towards creating issues around which they can mobilize people to hide their own problems that they have caused, the corruption in which they feed at the trough of the state of. So yes, we can see what happened. Even in July last year, when we had the outbreak of violence, what has a commission appointed by the president reported? That the cabinet must be held responsible, that the security agencies failed in their role and mission and obligation to protect citizens of our country. So yes, it's about time that South African citizens, 60 million of us, said, yes, we want to deal with crime. We want to deal with the fact that our country has faced a decade of state capture that has robbed us of resources to meet the needs of our own citizens and to offer help to those in a humanitarian crisis that have sought refuge for us. And I want to remind you that our freedom struggle meant that many states, many countries, frontline states, faced tremendous damage from the apartheid regime, housed thousands of our people. If you look at migrant labor, the entire mining sector has been built on migrant labor, many of whom come from neighboring countries. We are integrated as a region and as a continent. I think it's a fallacy that politicians are perpetrating to hide their own corruption and bankrupt morality to make foreigners the scapegoat. Yes,
Sure.
There are people amongst those foreigners that may have committed crimes, but the bulk of crimes have been committed by us as South Africans, including those that we've entrusted the leadership of our country.
Mr. Naidu, we're going to have to leave it there for tonight. Thank you for coming onto the show to share your views there. When News at Prime continues, we ask if President Cyril Ramaphosa showed leadership in his State of the Nation address on Thursday. We'll also get the views in as far as this Operation Dudula campaign is concerned. Do stay with us.